Good morning, everyone. We'll start this session with setting up proper motivation, which consists of 3 parts. Remember to being mindful of object visualize and manner in which you visualize it. Now, I would like to invite you all to visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, or any other enlightened beings you regard with veneration, and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of you, looking upon you with immense kindness and unconditional love, just as a mother looks upon her only child. That's Bodhicitta refuge. Second Bodhicitta field. You can visualize your 2 kind parents on either side of you, mother on the left and father on the right, and you are accompanied by all dear mother sentient beings living none aside, and you are leading them in this session. The purpose of the practice to manifest the Buddha nature within you, which is the ultimate source of happiness, which is the pure mind we have been studying from past 4 days, by removing the 2 mental obscurations, afflictive and cognitive obscurations. By keeping this 3 in mind, we'll recite the verses from page number 3. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. You, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Just the stanza there, this meaning of stanza is in Tibetan. We'll recite it for 1 time together. Sangye chodang soki chonam la chancho pakdu dani gyapso che dagi chinso gizbe sonam Dola Penche Sangye Dopa Sho. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, and I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, who through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, who through the knowledge of paths cause those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and who through the possession of omniscience help subduers expound the variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugatha and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. The essence of dependent origination mantra, we'll recite it together for 3 times. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashamanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashamanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato yavadat tesham chayo nirodha evam vadi mahashamanaye swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer, profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar dharma I have discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching, in silence I'll retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unseen, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, I pay obeisance. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of the nature of suffering. All phenomena are of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha. The Guru is the Dharma. Likewise, the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view.
Okay, what we'll do is that since there are few who may not be exposed to meditation, I like to do a little bit of meditation together with the instruction, and then some of you already know what is meditation, how to meditate, and so forth. For those of us who are not exposed to meditation, mainly for you, this is what we're going to do: 5 minutes of breathing meditation. And I'm going to give a quick instruction on this meditation. Okay. So basically meditation, from what first we have to keep in mind the purpose, the way the author of the 3 principal aspects of the path, Lama Tsongkhapa, said that why should we have to meditate? Then the next one is, first one's why, then how, then number 3, the measure of having accomplished, or the measure of having generated or cultivated genuine meditation. 3 points. So this is what we need to keep in mind. For that matter, the purpose is the purpose for the meditation is to make sure that our mind, which is very basic, where the diamond, where the diamond is obscured by the dirt. So from this state, we all have the diamond of the ultimate happiness. Whether you're a boy or a girl, there's no difference. Whether you are, say, the believer or non-believer, spiritual, non-spiritual, it doesn't matter. Everyone has this diamond of the ultimate happiness. This is not a story. This is not a metaphor. This is a reality. And not only that it's a reality, it's very important for each one of us to get convinced. For that matter, last time I did recommend the book, the text, which is anybody else? In Praise of Dharma Dhatu. In Praise of Dharma Dhatu, to know that yes, I do have this potential. Wow, I have this potential. You know, this by no means I'm inferior, right? It doesn't mean that we should go into the other extreme of arrogance. So by no means I'm inferior. It doesn't mean that we should be arrogant. The things that you should see the preciousness of your potential. You have to discover this potential, and this is something which we can discover. Number one. Now, having discovered this, then the next question is how to make this the treasure come out by removing the dirt. How to remove the dirt? Then we are talking about the entry into the middle way by Acharya Chandrakirti, and the fundamental wisdom of the middle way by Arya Nagarjuna. So these texts we have to study in order to cleanse the mental defilements. Alongside, we talked about what? We talked about the three principal aspects of the path. The entry middle way for the wisdom, and then the wisdom must be supported by the motivation, a very strong motivation. The strongest of the motivation is bodhicitta, and this bodhicitta is I need to work for all sentient beings. So for that, you need to know how I need to work for myself as well. So that is wanting to aspire freedom from suffering for yourself. This is renunciation. Wanting to aspire the highest goal of Buddhahood to benefit all sentient beings is known as bodhicitta. You're getting it? So these three things are finally what we should be doing. Now, for that matter, do we have any of these three? Do you have the wisdom to see everything like illusion? Do you see everything like illusion? The morning you wake up, you say, wow, everything's like illusion. Or you see everything like so static, so objectified there. How did you see things? How do you see things? How did you see things? So static, so solid, so objectified there. This is ignorance, right? One. So for that matter, we have to cultivate the wisdom. What about bodhicitta? What about bodhicitta? The morning you wake up, okay, what problems are there in the world? I should go to hell. Or, okay, will I get lunch during the class? Is there lunch? No lunch. Tea I'll get, no worries. That I'm sure. But lunch, I'm not too sure. If we don't get lunch from Tibet house, then where will I go for lunch? Right? It'll be like 40 minutes to my place. Okay, so the point is that again, we think about the self all the time, not really for other sentient beings. And then there's no bodhicitta. And then the wisdom of the, what is it? What is next? No, bodhicitta is motivation. So the renunciation. Renunciation, okay. And the renunciation is to renounce your afflictions. Renounce your miseries. Renounce your afflictions. Right? How many this morning you get up and I'm going to fight with my anger, I'm going to fight with my self-grasping ignorance, or how do you wake up this morning? Okay, so from this we see that again the renunciation is not there, and even to work. Oh yes, I have to practice these things. It's so challenging. You're getting it? Because it is so challenging. Then what do we need? We need training. That training, so that our renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom emptiness, they become very fruitful. That training is known as meditation. For that matter, what we need to do is that we need three things. The training, known as wisdom, three kinds of wisdom. Wisdom derived through learning. First, we have to learn. How can I cultivate renunciation? First, why should I cultivate renunciation? How to cultivate it? What's the measure of having cultivated renunciation? Again, why do you practice bodhicitta? How to practice bodhicitta? What's the measure of having cultivated bodhicitta? Why should I practice wisdom? Then, how to practice wisdom? Then, what's the measure of having generated the wisdom of emptiness? Okay, so these three, for that matter, we have to learn. After knowing, first we have to learn all these things. Learn how that is, why should I cultivate? For that, we have to learn more. Read more, learn more. Then, how to cultivate, we have to learn. And then, what's the measure of having cultivated? Again, we have to learn. So therefore, for all these three things, what we need to do is, first thing is that we have to study. So it is known as the wisdom derived through learning. The three kinds of wisdom. There are so many classifications of wisdom, one of which is into three classes. One is the wisdom derived through learning. Now, after learning all these things, for example, I learned E equals mc square, I learned the entropy theory, relativity theory, quantum physics, neuroscience, all these things I learned in school. I learned all these things in school, but am I really convinced of E equals mc square? I'm not. I don't know even how E equals mc square, how that is derived. I don't know that. So it's just like imitation from Albert Einstein. I don't have the conviction. So, until the conviction is born, you cannot really move. You cannot really feel the weight of this. For example, addiction, de-addiction, unless you're convinced, profound conviction comes to you that the addiction is very harmful, even though, yeah, I know that is not really good. Again, though you see alcohol, again you go substance, again you go. So the conviction is not strong. So this knowledge must be translated into conviction. So that is known as the wisdom derived through reflection. Number one is wisdom derived through learning or intellectual inquiry. Number two is wisdom derived through reflection. With the reflection, what happens is that you gain conviction. Okay, yeah, if I practice, then the bodhicitta can arise, then the compassion, very profound compassion can arise. Even I can see everything like illusion. That's very possible. That is known as wisdom derived through reflection. Okay, now number three is known as wisdom derived through meditation. Number three is known as wisdom derived through meditation or habituation. Wisdom derived through learning, wisdom derived through reflection, wisdom derived through meditation. These are the three wisdoms. Now the third one, meditation. Why do we need the wisdom derived through meditation? This is and in the first place, what does it mean by the wisdom of meditation? Wisdom derived through meditation. And then why do we need that? Why do we need that? Okay, for that matter, let us do a quick exercise. You ready? Let us do a quick exercise. This. Okay, what we do is that wisdom derived through learning, wisdom derived through reflection, wisdom derived through meditation. Okay, wisdom derived through learning. Example that I gave you is that. The wisdom that I have to know E equals mc square. That is the wisdom derived through learning. Learning meaning I just imitate. That's it. I don't have conviction. If that is just on the imitation level, this is known as wisdom derived through learning. What is next? Wisdom derived through reflection. Reflection is that you should gain conviction. Okay, how many you know 3 into 3 equals 9? 3 into 3 equals 9. Okay, are you sure? 3 into 3 equals 9. Are you sure? Very good. Which means that you have the conviction. You're getting it? So that is the wisdom derived through reflection. What is number 3? Okay, let me see if you have to wisdom derived through meditation. Do you have it? You don't have it or don't have it? Or you don't know whether you have it or not. If you don't know whether you have it or not, it's very simple. We'll do exercise, then you will know. Ready? Okay, what we do is that I will ask you to do mathematical calculations. Very simple, don't worry. Very simple is number 2, 3, 4, not more than 2, 3, 4, right? And that 2 plus minus all the time. That's easy. Okay, so your job is do the calculation, and give me the answer only when I tell you what's the answer. Till that point, do the calculation mentally. Don't even utter a word till I ask you what's the answer. You getting it? Okay, can you ready? Okay, 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 minus 1 plus 3 plus 2. What's the answer? 14. Very good. Okay, you're not bad in mathematics. Okay, now we'll do it again. Again, the same thing, that you give me the answer only when I ask you what's the answer. Till that point, do everything mentally. Ready? 2 plus 2 plus 3 minus 1 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 plus 2 plus 3. What's the answer? Okay, now tell me. In the first case, you were able to successfully give me the answer. In the second case, you cannot give me the answer. Why not? Okay, second one is so fast that I said so fast that I said so fast and your mind works so slow. You're getting it? Okay, which means that your mind does not work fast, although you're convinced about these numbers. If I give you this on a piece of paper, I give you time, 10 minutes, you will do it very easily. But when I say it's fast, your mind does not work fast. Okay, tell me, why do we cultivate this wisdom? Why do we cultivate compassion? Compassion to fight anger. Wisdom to fight ignorance. You're getting it? Now tell me, have you seen some of the movies where the robbers, right? Robbery, these things like gangsters come and then they rob and does everything. After 2 hours, then the police comes. Right? Everything finished. The robbers left. Right? The whole house burned, everything done. And after 2 hours, after 3 hours, 5 hours, then the police comes. Right? What is the police? It's the wisdom of emptiness. And what is the robbery being done? Afflictions, ignorance, anger, destroying us. Right? They destroy us, they left, and then the wisdom slowly comes. Right? And then we say, then the Lajana says, okay, it's page number this, still the wisdom is not yet to come. Page number this, and then she's reciting, then we all start reciting, still the wisdom is not there. Anger, attachment, all these things came and left already. So what's the job of the wisdom? To counteract the very effective afflictions. And how effective the afflictions are, like attachment, anger, jealousy, ignorance, how effective they are? Very effective. Effective meaning there are two things. One is it is so intense. Anger, attachment, so intense. Number two, so fast. So spontaneous. Very spontaneous and very intense. These are and what is your wisdom? Very intense. Our compassion so intense? No. So spontaneous? No. Very slow. Right? Right? Namdullah said, because you said it fast, actually Namdullah's mind works slow. Right? So even the simple mathematics, our mind works so slow. And wisdom is very complicated. How can we expect this wisdom to come so fast? You're getting it? So what should we do? This wisdom, compassion, they must be made very intense and very fast. How to make it? Through constant practice. Okay, how many practice music? Raise your hands. At least once in your life. How many practice piano, keyboard? Very good. Many few practice music. Guitar, damien, flute, organ, whatever. Remember, you practice? Okay. Yes. Never. You don't even touch guitar. You didn't even touch a flute. Even a piano. Oh, that's interesting. Only books.
No, I was a martial art.
Wow, okay. Okay, the one you practice martial art is so spontaneous? No. So slowly, which means that you practice over and over again. First, when you play the music, and there's no music coming out, it's very boring, right? If you invite people, please come to listen to my music, to the performance, everybody will feel bored, never will come to you again, right? So you practice it, practice. After about 5 years, then everybody will request, please perform the music. You're getting it? Why? It has become so beautiful. So how did it happen? Day one, nobody is interested. After 5 years, everybody requests you. Why? It's a matter of? It's a matter of practice. What do you mean by practice? To do the same thing over and over again. You're getting it? Likewise, the wisdom. Same. First we get the wisdom derived through learning. Then we get the wisdom derived through reflection. With the reflection you gain, with the learning you get the information. With the reflection you gain conviction. You're getting it? Then the conviction that you've gained, okay, this is very important. The conviction that you gained, don't leave it there. Conviction that you gained, it should have the intensity and the spontaneity. You're getting it? So this wisdom, which you already have gained conviction, at the moment, it just reached the conviction level, but it is not spontaneous and it is not intense. So you must make this conviction, the wisdom of the conviction, to be very intense and spontaneous. For that matter, this wisdom must be repeated over and over and over again. So repeating that wisdom over and over again is known as wisdom derived through meditation. So meditation is repeating the same virtue over and over again. It's known as meditation. You're getting it? Good. Now, you should keep in mind that from this, even for the counselors, this is what we learn. One is knowledge, then the conviction, then the spontaneity and the intensity. You're getting it? Number 3 is the meditation, for the purpose of spontaneity and the intensity of the wisdom, compassion, and the positive thoughts. Okay, so even if somebody is, somebody's very less, sometimes you might come across some patients or clients who are very learned, right? Okay, the Indrajitji comes and gives some counseling, and he would say, I know all these things, right? Not only I know all these things, I know even better techniques. They know better techniques, but still they are the victim of the abuse, substance abuse, and the drugs, alcohols, and so forth. So why? They may have the conviction, but that conviction does not have the intensity and the spontaneity. You're getting it? The opposite of the conviction. Opposite conviction is the feeling of joy, that feeling of pleasantness when you see the alcohol, when you see the drugs. That overrides the conviction, right? With the conviction, there is a pleasant feeling. So you have a choice. Pleasant feeling coming from the conviction, pleasant feeling coming from the substance. 2. So, which of the two overrides the other? For example, say, I don't have any job. I don't have any job. I'm struggling to get a job. Finally, Padmasana tells me that, I'll give you a job. How much? Okay, because you're not getting a job at all, and actually I don't need anybody, but I'll give you a job. I'll pay you 20,000. It's okay. Wow, I'm so happy. All my friends, they're only getting 10,000. And then Padmasana offering me 20,000. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. And the next day, Putila comes and says, Lisa, what are you doing? Right? Oh, I'm in job. How much are you getting? 20,000. What is 20,000? Why not go for 1 lakh rupees? Oh, you must be joking. No, you come. I'll give you a job. Wow. Alright, 20,000 earlier I had a pleasant feeling. Now, wow, 1 lakh, pleasant feeling. Which pleasant feeling overrides which? Tell me. Pleasant feeling given birth. Pleasant feeling reason out of getting 1 lakh overrides the pleasant feeling that I'm getting out of 20 lakhs. So whichever overrides, no, 20,000, whichever overrides the other will go for the better happiness, better pleasant feeling. Right? Then I will say, Padmasana, I'm a little sad, you know, I have some problem with this work, you know, at the moment I go into the campus, I have some pain here and there, then I move. You're getting it? So this is how our mind works. It's working on the basis of the pleasant feeling. You're getting it? Now, say, although there's a conviction coming, the pleasant feeling coming of the conviction, but the pleasant feeling coming of the addiction that supersedes the pleasant feeling coming from the conviction, newly conviction that you gain from learning from Indrajit ji. Right? So because the addiction, pleasant feeling that supersedes, you go relapse to the addiction all the time. Now you have to give him some training to give him a little bit of respite from the addiction, right? Take him away. Fence him from the addiction. Fence him. Fence. Once fence, then you try to make this conviction spontaneous and intense. Right? So, because you have fence, the person cannot go into addiction. For the time being, it's a little bit of, say, the fencing. And within that, then you try to intensify and make the conviction into the addiction more intense and more spontaneous. You're getting it? That's one. Then over time, that supersedes. That feeling of the pleasant feeling supersedes the pleasant feeling coming from the addiction supersedes the pleasant feeling that you get from the substance or the alcohol. Then the person will not relapse. You're getting it? Okay, so this is how the de-addiction can possibly happen. With this in mind, now finally the point is not only about the de-addiction, or what we call as a de-addiction in the conventional sense. We are all into addiction. Addiction of morning. Okay, 6 o'clock is, let me sleep for 5 more minutes. Alright, okay, 5 more minutes, again put the alarm 5 extra. And again, fun. Again, no, Wednesday class? It's only at 10 o'clock, still have little time. Another 5 minutes. You're getting it? This is addiction. This is addiction. And the food, right? No Coca-Cola. I have the sugar problem. I become a little obese, or I have sugar problems, so forth. No Coca-Cola. And then the Coca-Cola comes, somebody is having Coca-Cola. Okay, is there any extra Coca-Cola? Alright, again, addiction. So it's not about the substance and this which we conventionally call as addiction. We are all into the addiction of attachment, addiction of anger, addiction of ignorance. You're getting it? So this is how we have to undo these addictions. And for undoing the addictions to be done in 3 ways. What are they? Wisdom draw through learning. First we have to learn how to what's the word? What's the verb? De-addiction. What's the verb form? To de-addict. Okay, so to de-addict, right? Say the first way to learn it. This is so, so therefore some people said, oh, what is this Tibetan Buddhism? What is this Nalanda? It's so much of studies. Why don't we practice directly? Finally, without practice, what's the point of learning all these things? These are all the words of evil. You're getting it? These are all the words of devils. Study is so important. Study is like gathering the materials, gathering the ingredients. Only when the ingredients are gathered, then you can think of cooking. Practice the cooking. Without the ingredients, how can you practice cooking? You're getting it? So some people say that, what's all these studies? Practice it. Without practice, what's the point of studying, right? So don't waste time studying. Go for practice. It is don't waste gathering ingredients. Cook. You're getting it? So therefore, study is so precious. Some people, they study, they don't cook. They study, they gather the ingredients, they don't cook. This is not good. But it's far better than not getting any ingredients at all. When somebody getting ingredients and not cooking, and somebody not getting the ingredients at all and think of cooking, which of the two is better? The one getting gathered the ingredients but not cooking. That is far better than somebody who's not even gathering the ingredients. Because once you gather the ingredients and suddenly you feel the pain of the hunger. Okay, what can I do? Right? What can I do? The pain is so acute. Ingredients are there. There's no choice. I have to cook it. You're getting it? Cook it. And whereas if there's no ingredient, what are you to do? You can't do anything. So therefore, this is so precious. Even to learn something is so precious. Learning, not practicing at all. Not learning at all. Learning and not practicing is far better than not learning at all. You're getting it? 1. Learning, practicing, learning, not practicing, which is better? Learning, practicing is far better. You're getting it? This is how we have to progress. Okay. So, how to bring about this transformation is the addiction is done through study, which is the wisdom drawn through learning. Number 2, wisdom drawn through reflection. Number 3, reflection, wisdom drawn through meditation. These 3 things. You're getting it? Okay. Now, what are we doing here? The meditation. What are you going to do here? And the meditation, generally speaking, it is 2 kinds. Meditation per se, generally speaking, 2 kinds. One is known as single-pointed meditation, and the other one is known as analytical meditation. Single-pointed meditation and analytical meditation. And most of the popular meditations, which people talk about, the meditation, mindfulness, meditation, all these things, they fall under the category of the single-pointed meditation. All the, what we constantly hear about the popular meditation, right? Okay, meditation, mindfulness meditation, and even the Goenkaji's meditation, which is the Vipassana, popularly known as Vipassana meditation, even that falls under the category of single-pointed meditation, which is so important. It's not that, this has nothing to do. This is very important. Single-pointed meditation, which is so important. And the other one is known as analytical meditation. Analytical meditation. Okay. Now, to give you, and to go into detail, okay, single-pointed meditation and the analytical meditation too. And single-pointed meditation is a refined version of this meditation known as shamatha practice, shamatha meditation. Shamatha meditation. And the analytical meditation, refined version is known as, in Sanskrit it is known as Vipassana. Vipassana, but usually I don't use this word Vipassana because it can be confused with the Goenkaji's popular Vipassana practice. So which is slightly different from the Vipassana that you find in the mainstream Nalanda tradition. So therefore I prefer to translate it as the special insight meditation. Special insight meditation. Okay, so I've been warning you right from the beginning that the same word can be used. Same word can be used to refer to different meanings. You're getting it? So people can easily get confused. Therefore, I use the word shamatha meditation for the single-pointed meditation and the special insight meditation for analytical meditation. This is how I use the word, not to confuse between the popular 10-day Vipassana practice, which is also very important, which actually falls more under the category of the single-pointed meditation. Okay, now some of you may ask me a question, why do we need these 2 kinds of meditation? Why not make it just one? Okay, finally what we need is we have to improve what? Why do we have to do the meditation in the first place? To take your mind from the dirty, to take this diamond, which is at the moment in the ditch, and take it out from the ditch, clean it and put it in the showroom, to make it a showroom diamond. You're getting it? Okay. In other words, where all the mental defilements are gone and your ultimate state of fearlessness, miserylessness, and the infinite happiness become manifest. This is the purpose. For that matter, it requires some training. That training is known as meditation. And this meditation, finally we come to know that it is the wisdom. And this wisdom has to be built. Finally, all the miseries and the state of unhappiness, they are all grounded to the ignorance. Ignorance and the subtle stains. Because the root is the ignorance and subtle stains, the remedy should be the hey. Yes, the remedy should be the wisdom. You're getting it? So the wisdom has to be cultivated. So finally the meditation means finally the meditation of the wisdom. So the ignorance is like darkness. For example, say if we are having the class at 12 a.m. midnight, 12 a.m. midnight, and suddenly there's a power cut. You don't see anything and you want to read the book, you want to write something. So what do you do? You light a lamp. Don't say the Buddha, please remove the darkness, right? You light a lamp. So just as the darkness can be eradicated by introducing the light, it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eradicated. It is only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eradicated. You're getting it? Okay. Now, this light of the wisdom is like the lamp. It should be introduced to remove the darkness of ignorance. So this lamp should have two qualities. Why we need two kinds of meditation? This is the reason that I'm saying. We need this light. We need to ignite this light to see this, the diamond inside each one of us. This light should have two qualities. Okay, let's say that this light, okay, you need light. Then I light a candle and the light is very feeble. It's very feeble. Does it help you to read the books? No. What do you need? Tell me, hey, Namdullah. You need a very bright light. You're getting it? You need the right light to be very bright. One of the qualities that this light should have is that the light should be very bright. Which means this wisdom, light of the wisdom, must be very bright and very sharp. Number one. Okay, never mind, I'll give you a very bright light. Then I bring a big candle, very bright light, and from this corner of the room, there's the wind blowing, and then the light is flickery. Okay, does it help? Why not? You said that you need the bright light. I give you a bright light. Why it's not helping you? The light should be steady. You're getting it? Not only that the light should be bright, light should be steady. You're getting it? So this light should have two qualities. One, it should be very bright. Number two, it should be very steady. You're getting it? So the brightness is given. So brightness, we need one training. For the steadiness, we need one training. For the steadiness, the training is the single-pointed meditation. The meditation to train in single-pointedness of the mind. For the brightness, the sharpness of the light of the wisdom, we need the training in analytical meditation. So therefore, we need two kinds of meditation. You're getting it? Okay, two kinds of meditation. The psychology that we are studying, the brightness is the analytical meditation for to build the sharpness of the wisdom. And for shamatha practice, single point meditation is to build the steadiness of the wisdom. One is the steadiness, number two is the sharpness. Okay, now therefore, what are you doing here? 5 minutes practice is to learn how to build the steadiness of the mind. That is the shamatha practice, single point meditation. What about analytical meditation? Analytical meditation, all those we are learning, all those what we are learning, like the psychology, like the philosophy. All these, when your mind is being constantly sharpened, constantly you're learning something new, these all fall under the analytical meditation. But there is a proper analytical meditation. You can sit, whatever you learned before, particularly, for example, how everything's like an illusion. Everything is all just coming from your mind, nothing really from the object, how everything's like illusion. You first study this well, then you subject to this to reflection, then you get conviction, then you try to practice it. You think about this, how everything's illusion. Think about it very systematically. This process of thinking of how everything, this process of thinking and the analysis that we're engaging in is known as analytical meditation. Okay, so what you're doing here as a meditation is for the stability of the mind. That is single point meditation. For the single point meditation, this is very important for all of us. You have been hearing, my friend is doing meditation, she's doing meditation, he's doing meditation, and I also like to do meditation. Then what kind of meditation that you do? Then you watch the YouTube. No, this is not a good idea. You're getting it? This is not a good idea. You must do it with the help of a proper instruction. This is so important. Okay, otherwise it can be very damaging. You're getting it? Very damaging, very harmful. Okay, for that matter, for the single point of meditation, what we're going to do here is going to be a very simple one, but make sure that you keep in mind the instructions. 4 instructions, 4 points. Number 1 is body posture. Body posture. Number 2 is focal point. Number 1 is body posture. Number 2 is focal point, and I'll explain each one of them. Number 2 is focal point. Then number 3 is identifying the errors of meditation. Number 3, identifying the errors of meditation. Then number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay, let me repeat. Body posture, focal point. Number 3, identifying the errors of meditation. Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay, what is number 1? Body posture. What is number 2? Focal point. What is number 3? Identifying the errors of meditation. What is number 4? Applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Very good. Okay, body posture. Body posture. If possible, try to learn this, what we call as the Padmasana. Your left foot on your right leg, the first left foot on your right leg, then the right foot on your left leg. Okay, if you can do it, well and good. If you cannot do it, then back in your room, try this. Back in your room, try this. And then when you try this, you are bound to, if you have not been doing this, if you're not used to doing this, you're bound to have the pain. When you start feeling the pain, release it. Release the feet. When the pain is gone, again bring it back. So that way, you'll get used to it. Once you get used to it, it's a very comfortable position. It's very comfortable, and the benefit is that when you sit with this position, your mind will be alert for a longer duration of time. You're getting it? Okay, this number 2 is you're on the backbone upright. Backbone upright, and this is a very important point where oftentimes many of the people they tend to sit like this, body bent like this. This is a very bad posture. Always try to learn how to sit upright, and then unless and until you have backache problem, don't lean your back against the support. You getting it? Always try to sit upright without leaning against the support. It's very important. And whereas when you're not meditating, then you can lean against support. That's fine. There's no problem. But when you're meditating, and if you don't have a backache problem, then don't lean against the support. Whereas if you do have backache problem, then don't force yourself to sit upright without leaning against the support. You lean against the support, then your back will be better. And if you don't lean against support, if you have a backache problem, then the problem may become worse and you cannot focus on a meditation. Okay. Next is while your body is upright, make sure that your body is flexible. It should not be rigid. It should be flexible. It should not be rigid. Because particularly when you are doing this for the first time, as a beginner, the tendency that this is not your normal position, you may be sitting like this or like this. If this is your normal position, suddenly you sit upright, then what happens is that tendency is that your body tends to become a little rigid. When the body becomes rigid, you're unaware of that, but all becomes rigid for a few days. Within few days' time, you'll start having the muscle pain. So therefore, just once in a while, keep the mind, just keep an eye on your body to see if it is flexible. It should be flexible. It should be very relaxed. Okay, then your head tilted forward a little bit, or your head tilted forward a little bit. Okay, and then the next very important point is eyes not closed. Don't close your eyes during the meditation. Don't close your eyes. Keep your eyes very normal, half open, 45 degrees cast down, and ignore. Keep your eyes 45 degrees cast down, open, 45 degrees cast down, and just let it be like this. Ignore this. Then breathe normally. Breathe normally. Don't force your breath. Don't control your breath. Breathe normally, and keep the tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate. Tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excessive accumulation of saliva in your mouth. Okay, and teeth and the lips, keep them in the natural course. Breathe normally. And your right hand on your left hand. Right hand on your left hand. Okay, and the tips of the two thumbs joining, the two thumbs standing, not flat, standing, forming a triangle. Place the two hands on your laps in a restful state. Okay, this is your body posture. What's number 2? Focal point. Focal point meaning, with this body posture, finally, what are you going to meditate on? What kind of meditation are you going to do? So there are so many versions of the focal points. What we're going to do here is a very simple one. What we do is we just count the breath. It's not that what we're doing here is the only correct one, and all others which may deviate from our version, they're wrong. This is not the case. All are correct, provided they come from a genuine source. So for that matter, what we do is just focus on the breath. Focus meaning count the breath. Just count the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 1. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 2. Just we count. We don't have to follow the breath, right? There are practice where you have to follow the breath. That's a different practice, right? So here we're not going to follow the breath. Just count the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 1. Breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 2. This is what we're going to do. We're going to count the breath. Number 1. If you are competent, but keep this in mind, if you're competent, then you can do multitasking. 2 things together. One is counting the breath, and the other one is visualizing a tiny dot. Visualizing a tiny white dot, 1 mm or 2 mm in diameter. Tiny dot between the nose and the upper lip. Just a tiny dot between the nose and the upper lip. Okay. While you count your breath, breathe in, breathe out. Cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. While you count your breath, simultaneously you focus on the tiny white dot between your nose and the upper lip. And it's very challenging. 2 things happening together. We call it multitasking. So this is your focal point. Okay, what's number 3? Identifying the errors of meditation. Errors of meditation twofold. There are 2 errors of meditation. One is mental laxity, and the other one is mental excitement. Mental laxity and mental excitement. Mental laxity means where your mind becomes heavy, your mind becomes sloppy, your mind is sinking, and your mind is lethargic. It's heavy and lethargic, inserviceable. This is mental laxity. And the other one is mental excitement. Mental excitement is mental scattering. Mental scattering, in other words, mental laxity is the inactivity of the mind, and mental excitement is the overactivity of the mind. Right? So these both are flaws, both are problems. We have to, and our mind, while we meditate, we are bound to go through any of these problems. These two problems, when we do go through these problems, don't panic, don't freak. Go to number 4. What is number 4? Applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Okay, the mistakes are, errors are 2 errors. Mental laxity and mental excitement. And these two errors, then to get rid of these 2 errors, there are 2 antidotes, remedies. What are the 2 remedies? The introspection and mindfulness. Right? Introspection and mindfulness. Okay, what is introspection? What is mindfulness? So, for example, if you have a pet dog, and the pet dog is like the mind which is meditating, the mind which should be meditating, pet dog. And if you lose a pet dog, just once in a while, just check what your pet dog is doing. If the pet dog is just sitting alert, that's fine. But whereas a pet dog has disappeared, they're sleeping somewhere else in the ditch, or getting strayed somewhere else, then what you do is that you lost a pet dog. First what you do is you go in search of the pet dog. Likewise, introspection is when you first keep an eye on your own mind to see what your mind is doing. That is introspection or the vigilance. Once you find the pet dog, the job of the introspection is done. Once you find a pet dog, once you see the mind is distracted or mind is sleeping, the job of the introspection is done. Then what is the next job? The next job is the job of the rope. Tie the dog with the rope and bring it back home and try to put it home. Likewise, when you see the mind is distracted or relaxed state by employing introspection, the job of the introspection is done. The next is job of the mindfulness, rope-like mindfulness. With the mindfulness, bring the mind back to the intended object of the meditation. That is known as mindfulness. So introspection is like the spy. Introspection is the vigilance or the spy, and the mindfulness is like the executive. Executive to bring it, whatever information that you get from the spy, then you implement it. Then you bring the mind back to the intended object of the meditation. Okay, ready? 5 minutes. Okay, pretend to meditation. Do you have any questions from the instruction that I gave you? Any questions? Any challenges? Any? Yes.
Is one question?
Mic.
Krishna, my question is like, since I'm hello.
Yeah.
Since I'm practicing this single point meditation for the last 3 months, like last time we have learned from Tibet, and like through my practice, like we need to do the multitasking, like we need to analyze the white dot, right?
Not analyze,
like
focus
on the white dot. So like I face a lot of challenge on this, like focusing on the white dot.
Okay, so listen, this is very important.
So when I'm focusing on the white dot, like my head is paining.
Okay.
Kind of paining. Like
yes.
I mentioned, like our eyes should not look to the nose. No. Our mind should think the white dot.
Yes.
So like it's paining, like cannot
kind
of paining or like kind of
strain.
Kind of
some kind of strain happens. Okay. So for that matter, the okay. So sometimes when you focus on the tiny dot here, and if there's a strain happening, somewhere headache or head paining, some uneasiness coming, so there, and just try to move this tiny dot, move this, not here is inverse, move it like at the heart area, the same white dot, move in the heart area, and see how it reacts here. Right? If it disappears, not disappear. And then we see if it does disappear, then you again try to bring it back and see how it works. Finally, even this focusing on the tiny dot here, this is a means. Eventually, it should be done at the heart. Just see by moving it to the different places. Yep. Very good. Any more questions?
Yes. When I was like focusing on my this point, it was like I feel like it's not on my body, but I'm just imagining on someone else. It's like I cannot able to connect with that dot.
Exactly. This is again another challenge. The tiny dot. You try to do it at this spot, but somehow you feel as though like you are disconnected. The dot is somewhere else, not in your body. So for that matter, when this happens, and then in some cases the dot instead of white, you see this blue or red. But the color changes, size changes, the shape changes. This is what happens. If that happens, what is very important to do is just, if possible, you have the punch to make a hole to the sheet. So you just use that punch hole and take out this piece of white, the one small piece, and attach it here and look at the mirror. Look at it for a few seconds, see how that is like, and then try to stop looking at it, and then see if you can visualize this. Again, if you cannot visualize well, again look at the mirror to see what that is like. Visualize. And visualize is much better when you see through the mirror, and then ignore the mirror, and then again visualize. Right? Again, then do without it, try to visualize. If it's not coming, again do it back. And this way your mind will be trained. Gradually it will happen. You getting it? Okay. Any more challenges? Yes. Mike?
While doing jogging,
analytical single-pointed
meditation. Two movements are happening, right? Belly movement and shoulder movement. So you see any difference while breathing? Two movements are happening.
Okay. Some movement are happening involuntarily.
Yeah, sort of. In belly movement and somewhere in shoulder movement. So you see any difference?
Is it involuntary or voluntary?
I think it's involuntary.
Okay, involuntary means, let's say your body and your body and your mind, these are very closely connected. Very closely connected, and depending on the stability and the strength and the quality of the body, mind, the coordination. When you don't want it, still the body reacts sometimes. For example, yes, body reacts. So then all this, one is involuntary, one is voluntary. And then in some cases, we see that these actions, they are like reflex actions. Reflex actions. And some can be very subtly driven by the mind. Subtly driven by the mind. And in which case, just ignore this. Ignore the movements. Ignore the movements. Don't focus on this. Keep doing the same practice. And then see in the long run what is happening to the body movements in the long run. If it continues, you have to seek the help of a teacher. If it continues after a long extended period of time, because and then the point is that as your focus becomes more and more refined, then the body and the mind, this can be separated, and particularly the gross mind, which governs your physical body, like the body reactions, so forth. And the reflex action is very different. For example, the knee, if you hit the object on a knee, your whole the feet will be moved. So that's a reflex action. For the reflex action, don't worry too much. But if it is somewhere the mind is related with your focus, greater focus, as you strengthen the focus, then those reactions will stop. But if they continue, or the meditation is going too deep and still these reactions continue, you have to discuss with the teacher. Any more questions? Okay, Vipinji.
Why this form of meditation is called the single-pointed meditation? Okay, because you have bring the Vipassana in it also.
Okay, so basically, this is a very important question, and let us not bring. Okay, this is very important. This approach that we're going to learn not only here in meditation, even with the studies, conferences, talks, in all cases. Let us not bring the other packages. Don't bring them. Ideal, we start from the clean slate, meaning that how we said, I think the Vipinji was missing when we were discussing on this part. We came a little late. So what we discussed was that finally we have to build the wisdom to eradicate the mental defilement. And this wisdom should have two qualities. One, the wisdom should be very bright and sharp. The light is the metaphor for the wisdom. This light should have two qualities. What are they? The brightness and the steadiness. Likewise, you are there. So this wisdom, for this wisdom, we gave the metaphor of the light. This wisdom, what the brightness is for the light, the sharpness is for the wisdom. The wisdom must be very sharp. And what the steadiness is for the light, the steadiness for the wisdom. Right? So this wisdom should, for example, say I meditate on how everything is like illusion. You get it? This is very important, okay, all of us, to see everything as like illusion. How many you don't want fears in your life? Raise your hands. How many you don't want fear in your life? If you really don't want the fear, the final answer lies in getting the wisdom of emptiness, to see everything like an illusion, right? With the dream example, if you don't want the fear in the dream, what should you do? What's the ultimate answer? Wake up. Why the waking up helps you? Waking up helps you because waking up will let you know the reality. That is wisdom, right? So The wisdom to wake up from the sleep of ignorance, that must be cultivated. Which wisdom? When you wake up, you realize that dream is just coming from your mind, not from the object. The wisdom is to see that nothing exists from the object, everything comes from the subject. You're getting that wisdom has to be cultivated. That wisdom is so precious. So let's say that we are doing, you have to study. It's not that, everything's like illusion. Okay, now let's marry illusion like. No, that's not easy. You're getting it? That's not easy. We have to learn how everything's illusion-like. That we don't have to believe in it. We have to study this, rationally study this. This is very important. From this, then you know how to systematically go there. Systematically go there to the level of understanding that nothing exists objectively. They're all coming from our mind. Once you know this, how to follow systematically, go there, then you follow these steps. Okay, if you're interested, I will touch this area also. How to meditate on emptiness, right? The illusion-like nature. Okay, but somebody should remind me. Who's going to remind me? We have only 2 sessions now. One session is almost done. With the next session, who's going to remind me? Okay, the Rinzila is going to remind us, right? Okay, what are you going to remind me? Okay, a simple meditation, not the full-fledged. Full-fledged we have to study for 20 years, right? A very simple one, short one, right? Just like the movie trailer. Mike.
Can we do
the single point meditation and the analytical meditation together, so that you can save your time? Is what I say?
No, like sometime last time when I attend another class, they said how you do analytical, reflect on what you did on whole day, and how to improve those. So can we do this too?
Okay, so basically the idea is that let's say. Some people, they're expert in the playing music with the hand, and they also use the feet, right? Feet to hand for, I think, let's say the hand for the
When you're playing the drums, you also need to use the foot for the pen.
Okay, this one, there are many versions, right? One version is that I think somebody's playing like the keyboard, or not keyboard, guitar. Say like guitar, with hand you are playing guitar, with the feet you are beating the drum, right? Press something and the drum is beaten, right? It hits the drums. So initially, don't practice these two simultaneously. Guitars learn separately. Even guitar is very complicated. You're getting it? Guitar learn separately. Learn the drum separately. Once you are good at both, then try both together. You're getting initially. And then if somebody and that is no, you can practice both. Right? Finally you decide. You're getting it, and you practice both, and if nothing works, then you will come back to me, right? If it works, very good, you are very lucky. You're getting it? Okay, the point is that we have to learn separately. When you become expert, then you can merge the two. In fact, this is where the very sophisticated practice is amazing practice. Where you just do the analytical meditation. That is the most powerful single-pointed meditation. Not initially. You're getting it? Not initially. So how is that possible? Right? For all these things we have to study this subtle psychology. You're getting it? It's not like 5-day crash course psychology. In the monastery universities, these monks, they study this psychology for years and years and years. You're getting it? It's a very good end. But if you're really interested in this, All of you, if you are ready, it's not that you have to go to the monastery, you have to become a monk, you have to become a nun, then you have to stay there for 20 years, 30 years, only then gradually. No. If you put effort, if you really show interest in this, consistently you learn it, you'll get it 100%. How? You can see the nuances of the mind, how the workings of the mind in a very subtle form, where you do the analysis, that itself becomes this single point of meditation. And in some other cases, you do the single point of meditation, that itself is the analysis. Both happen simultaneously. You're getting it? Okay. So this is this. I will not touch it at this point. There's something to, if you pay attention to this, if you take interest in this continuously, that I can see. You're getting it? If I notice that you are very consistently into this, I'll be very happy to share these things later on. For that matter, it's not that I share it today. Why don't you share it today? No. Because, for example, quantum physics, when your mathematics is so poor, when you even don't know the basics of Newton's law, to explain quantum physics will make no sense at all to you. You're getting it? Likewise, without knowing these basic psychology that we're doing now, this subtle psychology that I'm talking about now, it is just pointless. You will not understand anything out of that. Okay, for that matter, it depends on you. It depends on you. From my side, if somebody is there, I see as somebody who's very serious and consistent. Not just serious plus consistent and passionate. Serious, consistent and passionate, and consistent meaning long-term interest, then I'll be very happy to share these things. Once you know these things so well, then you interact with any kind of psychology, Western psychology or any other psychology, then you just see that you can easily answer what they are saying. You're getting it? This is an extremely profound psychology. Okay, good. That's it. Yes, Ajirji.
Geshe-la, I want to get the clarification regarding the single point concentration. Now, there are different points given by different people. Maybe some saying that, okay, it's the point at the abdomen, some at the nostril, some even the image. So, which means they are the points which can really make the mind stable or the steady. And you said that at the end or the finally, this single dot or the small dot should be in the center of the heart. So I just want to get more elaboration on that. Why that so?
Okay. Okay, just for information, although it requires some form of permission, some form of empowerments are required. Just for information, just to really give so now this is in relation to, somehow related to what Amul is saying, that our mind, it is of various levels. What we are talking now, thus far, it is more generic and more on the gross level. Then once you know this so well, then we'll go into the subtler level of the mind. Okay, subtler level of the mind, and then as the mind becomes subtler, then how the mind behaves. And say, for example, how the mind behaves, for example, even the dream. It's in a way subtle, but it's not very subtle. The dream, we don't have the control of the dream. Right? We don't have the control of the dream. Okay, how many of you like to have the dream of His Holiness the Dalai Lama offering tea to you? Right? And how many of you are going to have this dream tonight? Why not? It's a very beautiful dream. We don't have the control. We don't have the choice. We cannot really choose that. You're getting it? Which means if the dream is a mind which is subtler than the waking state, okay, at the moment, okay, think of the red flower. Think of the red flower. Okay, now think of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Okay, come back to red flower. Now think of Hitler. Can you switch? You're doing it on your choice, or you're doing it involuntarily, something is going there. Choice. In the waking state, you have the choice. In the dream, you don't have the choice. Sometimes there is what is known as a lucid dream. There we have some form of choice to some extent. But otherwise, dream, you don't have choice. When the mind becomes even subtler, the choice, the voluntariness even disappears. We don't even identify them. When they arise, we don't even identify that they arise. Forget about maneuvering this mind. So now the point is that finally, so this mind, when will this mind become the most disciplined, become the most supple, that it behaves in the way and a manner which will give you the total fearlessness and the infinite happiness. For that, your mind should be most disciplined form. That it is in such a way that the final version of the mind, the most disciplined version of mind should become manifested. So that is the subtlest mind. And the subtlest mind should behave according to your volition. According to your volition, this mind should behave. For that matter, what happens is that this mind, why it is not behaving the way we want, is that this mind is, for example, say, I want the water to flow towards the end of this hall. And there's a pipe there. I then put on the tap and the water flows. And suddenly I see that the water, instead of going there at the end, it is going somewhere in the middle. Which means that there's a leakage happening. You're getting it? There's leakage happening. The water is not going as intended. And why leakage is happening? Even though because one, there's a blockage somewhere in the middle, and then the water, there's no option other than to go through the joints. Then it comes out. So therefore the water doesn't flow because there's a blockage there. And with our mind, the mind does not flow in its most smooth form because it has been constantly blocked in many places. And there will be, for example, the throat, then the forehead, then the crown, navel, and then the private spot. So it is blocked in many places. So finally, when the blockage at the heart, when that is removed, all the other blockages are automatically removed. So therefore, finally, until the blockage of the heart is removed, the mind cannot flow, the subtle mind cannot flow as intended, as you intend. So therefore, this is the final point. Whereas before that, you can do it at the throat, you can do it at the forehead, and then the chest form to calm the mind between nose and the upper lip, which is very easy because we could feel the flow of the air through your nostrils. And what is immediate to the nostril? If you can visualize the tiny dot there, so that's very easy for us as a focal point. Whereas if you have to focus it, you count the breath, and then you focus at the heart, it's a little more challenging. And later on, when you become a little expert on this, then you can move to the white dot anywhere you like. Okay, that's it. Any more questions? Okay, now I like to do a little more like summary. Summary meaning the synopsis of number one in the form of the basic Buddhist psychology pertaining to the de-addiction. and pertaining to our basic aspiration. Tell me, what is your basic aspiration in your life? Maximum possible happiness. Indrajit ji, 100% happiness. Anybody else? Huh? Remove suffering. Very good. Hamala. Happiness. Namdullah. Happiness. Pujamla. Huh? Peace of mind. Very good. Atulia. I don't know. Okay. Want you to say something randomly? No, I want to say something very precise. I don't want to say something meaningful. I don't want to say something meaningless. Right? So you feel comfortable saying something meaningful. You don't feel comfortable not saying something meaningless. Right? So you're struggling not to say something because you feel uncomfortable saying something meaningless. So you look for the comfort. Okay, happiness. The boy there, what is your name? Dorjila. Happiness, Vipinji. Nishida. Happiness. Maximum possible happiness. Pamisala. Oh, okay. Travel around the world. Very good. Kapilji.
100% happiness.
100% happiness. Ajirji.
Tame my mind.
Oh, tame my mind. Okay. Nandula, happiness. Peace. Happiness. Nandula. Wow. To realize the wisdom of emptiness. Very good. Amule. Happiness. Okay. Hamala. If possible, 100% happiness. Shalmali. Huh? Ultimate happiness. Okay. That which you already said it. To get rid of suffering. Yes. Okay. Maximum happiness. Indrajit, right? Okay. Purila. To achieve maximum happiness and fearlessness. Wow. Very ambitious. Thank you. Namsala. Happiness. Vinzila. Super happiness. Wonderful. Nisha.
Maximum possible happiness.
Oh, maximum possible happiness. Okay. So we have now anybody left? Get to the Bandila. Okay, no problems. To get rid of problems. Then the Tinila. Okay, bodhicitta practice. Wow. Bodhicitta practice. Okay, now we see that most of us the answer is more like the same: peace, happiness, maximum happiness, and then no problem is like peace. And then so two different things that came is touring the world and bodhicitta. Anything else? Anybody say something different? Huh? Balance of life. Okay, let's say. So most of you said happiness, whether the ultimate happiness, maximum happiness, and peace. And the other one is touring the world, balance of life. Balance of life and bodhicitta practice. Okay, my question to you. Okay, let us see. Why do you want to tour the world? Listen.
To gain experience and connect with others people.
Why do you want to gain experience? Experience of anger?
To reach my knowledge.
Or to enrich your knowledge? What do you have to enrich your knowledge?
The diversities and...
No, why do we have to enrich your knowledge in diversity and so forth? So that your anger can be more rich?
Because if I have a good knowledge, then I can...
Listen.
If I have a good knowledge, more knowledge about more people, then I can help to more people.
Why do you need to help?
Because like, as I mentioned, like I want to become de-addiction psychologist. So like
why do you want to become a de-addiction psychologist?
Because like since I've suffered in this field, so I want to help others.
Why do you want to help others?
I want to help them because so that they will not face the problem which I face.
Why should they not face the problems which you faced?
Like they might.
Why do you want them not to face the same problem which you faced before?
Why do they? Can you repeat the question?
Why do you want them not to face the problem which you faced before?
Because like what I have faced problem is like it's hard to relieve from. It's also hard
because your problem is so hard.
No, it's hard to come back from this particular field. So like if they face the problem, then they will be suffer.
Yes, they will suffer. So why should you be bothered?
Why I should bother? Because like if I work on this field, then it will be like I will get married and also I will be good.
Okay. No. So that if I really help others so that they don't suffer the way I suffered before, then I'll get married. What's the if you get married?
Married?
Yeah.
Then like my happiness will be
okay. Then I will have my happiness, right? After all, members in La Falls, category also. He says something bit different, but actually it's the same. What you said is chomen, what he said is spaghetti. It's the same actually. Okay, now Bodhicitta. No, Bodhicitta will come later. Okay, here, balance of life. Okay, Pushula, why do you need balance of life? Okay, let us all listen. This is very important. You're getting it?
I think balance of the life is the gateway for anything, and which is more specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound.
No. So why do we need something achievable and realistic and time-bound? Why?
I kind of find that the balance of life is gateway for peace of mind.
Okay, again peace of mind. You're getting it. How many you said peace of mind, Resents? One, peace of mind. Hey, Kamala, you said peace of mind, right? Who said peace of mind? Happiness, peace of mind. Where are they? Peace of mind? Huh? Yeah, peace of mind, peace of mind. So again, Kesan, he put it, the Pujan, he put it in a different way. Balance, this is the different way of packaging. Right? Balance of life. We're actually looking for peace of mind. Okay, now Bodhicitta. Okay, get in there, tell me why? Okay, that we'll deal with. Very good question, thank you. First we'll finish this and then we'll all see to be in the same boat. Right? Why do we need Bodhicitta practice?
Because if I practice Bodhicitta mind, it can help me to not to harm the sentient being.
Okay, so that will stop me.
Yeah,
it'll stop me harming other sentient beings,
and it gives me peace of mind.
Again, peace of mind.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, when I practice, the main practice is the sixth perfection.
Yes.
And when I get angry, and I just tolerate mind, tolerance,
patience. Yes.
Patience. Yeah.
Yes.
It can be help me to, I think, help me to reduce depressions, angers, like that.
Okay, so when let's say with the practice of six perfections as a part of the practice of bodhicitta, yeah. Then when the anger arises, you can control the anger.
Yeah.
So this will help me to stop from anxiety depression, and so forth. So why do you want to stay away from depression? Why you don't want depression?
Because
depression is very painful.
Yeah.
So I don't want pain.
Yeah.
I want peace.
Yeah, I want peace.
Okay. So from what they say. Okay. Yes. So why? Somebody needs a mic. Okay. So what Yatinala is saying is a very precious point. You're getting it? Although we come to realize that all our aspirations somehow will boil down to looking for peace or looking for happiness. What degree? A maximum degree of happiness, maximum degree of peace. And how? So what the Gentiles are saying is not only the aspiration with the means. So this is what aspiration with the wisest means. You're getting it? That is known as the bodhicitta aspiration. This is so precious. Okay, so now we'll switch to what Vipinji asked. Okay, anybody who can paraphrase what Vipinji asked? What did Vipinji ask? Yes, Davishi, Mike. Okay, let us all listen. What Vipinji asked. This is very important.
Can the term happiness and peace of mind be used interchangeably?
Very good. Thank you. You are a great psychologist. Okay. Can peace of mind, peace of mind and happiness, are these two synonymous, or can we use these two as interchangeably? Meaning, are these two synonymous? Do they mean the same? This question. Let me give you one example. This is very important, and if even the clinicians and the psychotherapists, the counselors, all of you, depending on how you can see this message, which I'm sharing with you, to that extent, you can apply this in your practice, right? Okay. Say the question is about the peace of mind and the happiness. Okay, the word happiness, some people are not too happy with this word happiness. Instead of happiness, they say that not really happiness. We are not looking for happiness. The happiness is very gross. We are looking for fulfillment. And I personally would prefer to use the word ease. Ease. But most of the people, they talk about happiness. So we'll stick to happiness, and whichever word is more convenient to you, comfortable with you, you use that word. Ease, contentment, fulfillment, whatever you like to use in place of happiness, you can use it. Feel free to use that. But for us, we will, for time being, we'll use the word happiness versus peace. Okay, first we'll do that, then we'll go for tea break. Let's say that okay, first let me talk about the peace means. What's the opposite of peace? What's the opposite of peace? Violence in you. What's the opposite of peace? Disturbance. You're getting it? Disturbance. You like disturbance or not disturbance? And if there's a danger of the disturbance coming you, what do you feel? You become anxietic, fear. You're getting it? Okay. So, disturbance, fear, anxiety, they are like coming together towards you. Right? When these are away, that's known as peace. You're getting it? Okay, I'll give one example. This is very important. Let's say that you are a physics professor, but a mediocre professor, not really very outstanding professor, mediocre professor in a college, in a simple college in Delhi University, and suddenly the Vice Chancellor of Delhi University approaches you. Or this evening, I got information from the Minister of Education, right? Minister of Education, that Delhi University should organize, the public talk by a physics professor, to address 1,000 PhD students from all over the world. 1,000 physics PhD students from all over the world. And then, because it's just the last minute notice, and I found that you are the professor in physics, you have to give the talk. Are you happy? Not happy? Why not? It's a great honor. You are going to give this opportunity you will never get, to give a talk to 1,000 PhD students from all over the world, from Cambridge University, from Harvard University, Oxford University, and all these universities, big. Universities, it's the first time that it's the first time happening, and you're getting this opportunity. Why not? What an honor for you. Are you happy? Not happy? Not happy. Instead, fear. You become nervous. You're anxiety. Why? Because, listen, because amongst these 1,000 students, there are the future Nobel laureates in physics are there. You get it? Who are very bright. They can ask you any question and you get stuck. You're getting it? They are the very bright physics, future Nobel laureates in physics. They're all there. So it's very anxiety. It's very traumatic. So much of fear there. You're mentally disturbed or not disturbed? Very disturbed to the extent that you will not even taste the food. You cannot even taste the cheesecake. Even the cheesecake doesn't taste anything to you. Then what do? You look around and you see Albert Einstein, right? Then you rush to him. Sir, please give the talk. I'm assigned to give the talk to this 1,000 PhD students in physics. Then Albert Einstein, seeing that you're so nervous, you're so anxiety, Einstein said, okay, don't worry, I'll do it. Okay. Is he afraid or not, Einstein? He's not afraid. This is my area. This is my cup of tea. Right? Okay, is he happy or not? Not really happy. This is every day what is happening to him. He's not really happy. But is there any disturbance? There's no disturbance. No disturbance is peace. There's a peace there, but he's not too happy because he had a fight with his wife this morning. And he accepted he's not afraid. There's no fear. Peace is there, but he's not too happy. Right? So the peace doesn't mean happiness. You get it? The mechanism of peace and mechanism of happiness, these two are different. How they're different, this is what I'd like to share with you. Right? Okay. So, okay, we'll stop here. Tea break. 15 minutes, let's come back at 12 sharp. We have 19 minutes tea break. Okay.